tamang sweldo ng SMNI at wala silang PhilHealth at SSS benefits. These are very grave allegations which have very much concern among the members of this committee and the Filipino people. The committee is also aware of the Department of Justice decision to charge Pastor Apollo Kibuloy with sexual abuse of a minor in violation of Republic Act number 7610 or the Anti-Child Abuse Law and qualified human trafficking and other acts of child abuse. Taken in totality, the members of this committee are very concerned about the findings made by the Senate and by the DOJ as they reveal heinous crimes committed by persons behind Suara Sue Corporation. Throughout these proceedings, we have consistently requested the presence of Suara Sue Corporation's current and past leadership, and to give them an opportunity to clarify and provide answers to the queries asked by the House members. We will once again give them that opportunity to air their side today. The Committee on Legislative Franchise, with its mandate, must ensure the privilege of the franchise given to those who have complied with our laws, and have worked for the good of the Filipino people. As always, it is common good that the committee continues to strive for in this process. Maraming salamat po. May I ask the committee secretary? Source persons po. Can you please acknowledge the resource persons present? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, and for the information of this body, we have the following resource persons in attendance. From the NTC, we have the Deputy Commissioner Alvin Blanco. From the Securities and Exchange Commission, we have Attorney Algin Lacanaria. From the MTRCB, we have Attorney Cesar Pareja. From KBP, we have Ms. Attorney Rudolph Hularbal. From the NTC COA, we have Mr. Job Aguirre and Ms. Mary Jane Sadang. From SMNI, we have Pastor Marlon Acobo, the Executive Pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. KOGC, right. You are the Executive Pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Thank you. We also have the members of the board of SMNI, Ludovia Godoy, Ms. Cristina San Pedro, Ms. Loris Nepomuceno, Ms. Hannah Shane Sancho, and their legal counsel, Attorney Mark Tolentino and Attorney Rolex Suplico. We also have the executive staff of KOJC, Attorney Eunice Ambrosio, the president of SMNI, Dr. Marlon Rosete, and counsel of KOJC, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio. We also have a consultant of SMNI in the person of Mr. J. Sonsa. Your Honors.
The representative of Tingog Party List, Honorable Jude Asirre. Welcome, sir, to the hearing. And of course, walking in is the hardworking and good-looking congressman of Quezon City, the Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Franz Pumaren. So now we proceed.
Mr. Chair,
The Honorable
Point of
Franz
inquiry.
Castro is recognized, ma'am.
if I can remember, Mr. Chair, we asked to summon or invite Pastor Kibuloy.
Look at that.
So what's the status of him?
Mr. Chair, I was going to raise that also.
The Honorable
Eh,
Pimentel.
During the last hearing, February 7, if you will recall, most especially those who were present during that hearing, this committee issued a subpoena to Pastor Kibuloy because of his non-appearance on the several invitations that we sent him. And I can see that again, Pastor Kibuloy is a no-show in this hearing. Now, it is very clear under the House rules, especially on rules of governing procedure on inquiries in aid of legislation. Section 11, the committee may punish any person for contempt by a majority of members present, specifically on Section A, refusal without legal excuse to obey summons, and Section E, acting in a disrespectful manner. In this case, although he is not present, but the fact that he has not been appearing in this committee just shows that he has no respect for this committee. It just shows that he acts like God, he acts with impunity, he takes this hearing for granted. Ipinagwawalang balahala niya, importante ho siya dito. So in this case, Mr. Chair, kahit na mag-hearing pa tayo ng 20 beses, kahit na 20 beses natin imbitahin si Pastor Kibuloy, it is very clear that he has no intention whatsoever of appearing in this committee. Therefore, Mr. Chair, under House rules, it is our obligation to show these people who take this committee for granted the sanctions that could be meted under our House rules. Therefore, Mr. Chair, I move to cite for contempt Pastor Kibuloy on the grounds which I have stated. So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion by the Honorable Pimentel.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, the Honorable Carapos.
with the indulgence of the good Congressman Pimentel, with regards to this motion, I have nothing against it, but it's just proper, Mr. Chair, siguro na we might ask the representative of Kibuloy, then we will rule on that particular motion.
Okay, with the request of the Honorable Paduano, the Honorable Pimentel will defer and hold in abeyance.
I yield to the
Yes.
request.
And the Honorable Attorney Topacio, magandang hapon po sa inyo.
Magandang hapon po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. May I be recognized, Your Honor?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, with respect to the motion and with all due respect, we believe we have provided legal justification for the non-presence of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy in our letter to the committee, Your Honor. Wherein the gist of it states that
In letter.
based on the previous hearings of this honorable committee, we have an idea of the information being required. And we have stated in this letter, Your Honors, very respectfully, that Pastor Kibuloy for around 4 years now has had no hand whatsoever in the running of SMNI, whose franchise is under consideration, Your Honor. Instead, to show our good faith and our due respect to this honorable committee and to show that we are not evading the subpoena, Your Honors, we have brought with us 3 persons who are in the best position, more than Pastor Kibuloy, and who have been the ones active since 2022 in the affairs of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, which are the current executive pastor of the KJOC and his top staff, Attorney Eunice Ambrosio and Maria Norfeli Marimon, Your Honors. So with respect to the kingdom, they are the ones who possess the necessary competence to answer whatever questions this honorable committee may throw at them, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, we understand the explanation of Attorney Topacio, but the fact still remains that Pastor Quiboloy has not appeared in this committee. You are presenting actually three persons that you have just mentioned to explain whatever questions or whatever clarifications are needed. As you have stated, they are well versed with regards to the operations of Suarasug. But the matter at hand, Mr. Chair, I believe, still remains is the non-appearance of Pastor Quiboloy. Of course, Mr. Chair, we will entertain or we will ask questions to your substitute resource persons. But Mr. Chair, I still insist my motion, my earlier motion, I again reiterate, I move to cite for contempt Pastor Quiboloy, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Pimentel. Attorney Topacio.
Your Honor, we will always submit to the discretion of the committee. With just the very respectful and gentle reminder, Your Honors, that in the very recent case of Ong versus Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, the Supreme Court has ruled that before any person is held in contempt of the a house or any committee thereof, he must be given due process, meaning a chance to explain, Your Honor. We are just invoking this right on behalf of Pastor Quiboloy because our Constitution itself states that the rights of persons invited to congressional hearings should be respected, Your Honor. That is all that we ask, Your Honor, nothing else.
Thank you, Attorney Topacio. Just for the information of everyone, Pastor Quiboloy has been invited as far back as December. Several invitations has been given to him, and he has not appeared, which prompted the Honorable Pimentel to he filed a motion for him to for us to subpoena Pastor Quiboloy because of his non-appearance in previous hearings. So I think as far as due process is concerned, we have complied with. As a matter of fact, because of his absence, I'm so familiar already with Attorney Mark Tolentino. Okay, and I'm of course the idol of everyone, the guy that invented the rules of the House, the Honorable Rolex Suplico, who is also here, who I used to read in the newspapers when I was in elementary. Okay, and up to now, it's an honor to see him in our hearings. That's why ako po as far as pagiging due process, matter of fact po, marami pong mga katanungan, marami pong hindi nila masagot, at lagi po sabi hindi na kaya sagutin. No? And which really, I think, mahaba naman po yung proseso na binigay po namin para po sa kanyang pagpunta ko dito. At kami naman po ay kung baka na-extend na ho namin. As a matter of fact, naubos na ho lahat ang mga pwedeng maitanong dahil naitanong sa dami pong hearings na hinandak na po ng committee, Attorney Topacio. And this can be, I think, Attorney Suplico would attest to this, no? Na talagang we were very patient at lahat po ng pamamaraan ay binigay po namin sa kanila. So, maraming salamat, Attorney Topacio. Wala na po kayong i-manifest. May tanong lang po ko. Alam po, pwede po ba ako magtanong?
Of course, Your Honor, you're the chairman.
Siyempre. Kasi ho, pinadala ho namin yung subpoena February 20, no? At ito'y publicized naman. At bakit po sa March 11 lang po kayo nagpadala ng sulat? At nauna po ho ang media kasi tumatawag po sa akin ang media. At sabi ko sa kanila, hindi ko po pwede sagutin yan dahil wala po akong natatanggap na sulat. True enough, sila ko yung records, natanggap lang ho namin yung sulat nyo kahapon, March 11. Tapos may amended letter at March 12 today. Humarap po yung isang abogado ninyo. So, why did it take you so long to write us that letter?
Kasi po, hindi po ako involved, Mr. Chair, doon sa previous mga hearings. So, nireview ko pa po yung video ng mga hearings para mapagtanto ko po kung ano yung mga maaring itanong based on the trend. At yun nga po, coupled with the fact that Pastor Kibuloy has been out of the day-to-day or even the general operations of SMNI or Suarasug, Your Honor, because he has decided to concentrate on purely spiritual matters, ay lumiham po kami. Yung unang liham po kasi, pasensya na po kayo, we meant no disrespect to the committee, Mr. Chair. Kanya lang, noong ibibigay na po namin dito, napansin po namin may typographical errors lang naman po, kaya ni-revise po namin.
Which was received today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Typographical errors lang po ang
So that's why the first letter we received March 11, the second letter we received today
Opo,
at the day of the hearing.
opo,
Yes.
pero it's basically the same, Your Honor. We did not want to spring any surprise. It's just typographical errors, Your
Yes.
Honor.
Thank you very
We apologize because of the a tight schedule of this representation. We profoundly apologize to the committee and to the chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Before I continue, the chair will recognize the Deputy Speaker, the Honorable David JJ Suarez. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
The Honorable Franz Pumaren is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Address lang pong question kay Attorney Topacio. I'm quite baffled no dahil he mentioned that kaya hindi pupunta dahil wala siya dun sa day-to-day activity, yung pagpapatakbo ng SMNI, hindi niya alam. In fact, there are three resource speakers that can answer that. My main question lang here, kung gano'n man pala, may invitation siya, bakit ayaw niyang pumunta? Then let him explain to us kung ano talaga ang role niya dun sa SMNI. And aside from that, probably there are still other questions that can be raised. Yun lang naman ang quite baffling on my part na bakit ayaw niyang pumunta. Na kung confident naman siya na he has no idea how yung SMNI operates day-to-day basis. Yun lang po, Mr. Chairman.
May I respond, Mr. Chair? Actually po, at wag niyo na pong sisihin si Pastor, ako na pong sisihin niyo, Honorable Franz Pumaren, sapagkat ako po yung nagpayo sa kanya. While the details of the advice may be covered by lawyer-client privilege, ako po yung sabi kay Pastor na since ang nakikita ko po sa trend ay tungkol naman sa alleged violations ng prangkisa ng SMNI, ay since wala naman po kayong kinalaman at ang inyong titulo na honorary chairman ay purely honorific as the name suggests, sabi ko upang hindi naman paipakita naman natin na ginagalang po natin yung proseso ng kagalang-galang na committee ito, ay tayo na po magdala ng mga tao na maaaring makasagot dun sa mga yon. Ngayon po, I want to take this opportunity with the kind indulgence of my congressman in Parañaque, the chair. Kung mamarapating nyo lamang naman po, kami po ay magalang na humihiling na baka naman po mga kagalang-galang na kinatawan na bigyan po na naman kami. Kahit konting panahon lang po na magpaliwanag at baka naman po makausap po rin siya at baka naman po makita niya na baka naman pwede siyang dumating sa susunod. Konting pagkakataon lamang po at rest assured that we will be prompt in our response, Mr. Chair and members of the Honorable Committee. In fact, I'm scheduled to meet with him tomorrow, Your Honors, if I may inform this Honorable Committee, and I will advise him accordingly. Honorable Pumaren, please.
Thank you, Attorney Topacio. Mr. Chairman, just for the record,
Yes.
nakailan invitation na ba tayo kay
Tatlo po.
Pastor? Tatlo.
Tatlong invitation na po tayo. Before we recognize the next interpreter, the chair recognizes the Honorable Arlene Prosas. Welcome, ma'am, to the committee hearing. And who else is here? The Honorable Inodi is here. Welcome to the hearing.
Mr.
sir.
Chair,
The Honorable Pimentel.
we are just prolonging this issue. We know very well that kahit na ano pang sabihin ni Atty. Topacio, he was hired by Pastor Kibuloy as a legal counsel. It's his job to delay this contempt. Alam naman natin, Atty. Topacio, kahit na sa'yo, naniniwala ba kayong sisipot si Pastor Kibuloy? These are just delaying tactics. Even though na mag-hearing na naman tayo next, iba na namang rason ng lila ibibigay. Mag-hearing na naman tayo, ikapitong hearing, ibang rason na naman. When will this be concluded? As I've said, Mr. Chair, it is incumbent upon this committee. It is our obligation under the rules that we should cite him for contempt to compel him to appear in this committee, Mr. Chair. Again, on my second, actually on my third reiteration, Mr. Chair, my motion still stands.
Thank you.
Just a point of clarification on the statements made by Attorney Topacio. By the way, congratulations on your movie.
Thank you, sir.
You mentioned that you're off to see The Good Pastor tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that confirms that he's still in the Philippines.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. He's not going anywhere, Your Honor.
O, kasi may mga balita na nag-ibang bansa na daw siya at
Ay, hindi po. Magpapakuha po ako ng litrato at ipa-viber ko po sa
Hindi.
mga members ng committee.
I trust you, Attorney Topacio.
Thank you po. I
So,
appreciate that, sir.
Yun lang, I just wanted to reiterate, Mr. Chair, we've been having this hearing since December of last year. November of last year. So, long playing album na po ito kasi November, December, January, February, March, I think. This can already be part of the Guinness Book of World Records as one of the longest hearings. This just goes to show the leniency and the patience the Committee on Franchise has afforded to SMNI, to Suarezug, when it comes to complying with requests that have been forwarded to you. So, on its proper time, Mr. Chair, I would second the motion of Congressman Pimentel.
Thank you, the Honorable
Mr.
Suarez.
Chair.
The Honorable Karaps Paduano, then the Honorable Arlene,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
and the Honorable Franz Castro.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I will not anymore argue with Attorney Topacio with regards to the jurisprudence regards to Senate versus Song. But in the proper time, just in case, we can talk about it. And well, in fact, pati na yung balag, pwede natin pag-usapan, no? Balag case. But anyway, Mr. Chairman, ganito lang po. Kasi the legal counsel of Pastor Kibuloy is asking for a reconsideration. Is that correct?
We are asking for time to explain, Your Honor, because as the rules state, the failure to appear must be without legal justification. So we are willing in whatever time allotted to us, Your Honors, so as to obviate any suspicion that this representation is delaying. Actually, ayoko nga pong ma-delay. May lakad po kami ng abroad ng misis ko next week eh. Pero kung kinakailangan po ay isakripisyo po natin yon. Ngunit I also understand the misgivings of the Honorable Johnny Pimentel that indeed these hearings have been going on for quite some time. But ang akin lamang po, Your Honor, is perhaps the committee would rather err on the side of constitutional rights rather than expediency. Yun lang naman po ang aking humble appeal sa chair at saka sa mga miyembro ng committee ito. Salamat po.
Mr. Chairman, actually, question of the appeal of the lawyer. Pwede naman po, pero pwede naman po na lagyan natin ng collotilya that will cite Pastor Kibuloy in contempt. But it will be lifted depending on the cooperation of Pastor Kibuloy, because we have done that for the past several contempt orders. But still, Pastor Kibuloy will be cited in contempt in today's hearing.
We will always bow, as I said, Your Honor, to the discretion of the Honorable Committee, of course, subject to my humble reiteration of our appeal, Your Honor.
Topacio, the chair
Thank you, Your
recognizes.
Honor.
Yes, before I call the next interpreter, The chair recognizes the presence of Juan Carlos Arjo Ataide of the First District of Quezon City. Welcome, Kong Ataide, and our Deputy Speaker, Christine Singson Mihan of the Third District of Ilocos Sur. Welcome, ma'am, to this hearing. The Honorable Jude Asidres, the Honorable
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
France and
So,
Honorable Jude.
Di na po natin papakinggan yung yung alibay ni Attorney Topacio. Nasabi na po, pero marami na pong pronouncement si Pastor Kibuloy in media na hindi talaga siya dadalo sa anumang mga hearings sa Kongreso. So narinig na po natin yun. Kaya tama po ang ating colleague na parang magde-delay na lang yung ginagawa. Tapos mahalaga po yung mga question kasi with the development ngayon, Mr. Chair, di ba? Yung pinapasa niya, yung stake niya sa KOJ kay dating Presidente Duterte. So kailangan nating malaman yun kasi may kinalaman sa ownership, which is our topic nun sa SMNI. Kaya kailangan niya talagang pumunta rito at hindi pwede yung sinasabing tatlo na magsasalita for him. Kaya kailangan niya umapir dito, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The Honorable Jude Asidre of Tingog Party List.
Mr. Chair, I would tend to agree with Mr. Topacio if this were a Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Unfortunately, this is a committee hearing that centers on the continuance of a privilege of a franchise given to SMNI, and the testimony of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, given being part of the original franchise, is material to the discussion. And I think this is no longer a question of rights, Mr. Chair. This is a question of duty, that by accepting the granted privilege, SMNI is compelled to carry out. That includes Pastor Apollo Kibuloy being one of the grantees in the earlier franchises given to SMNI. And therefore, I will join the Honorable Suarez in seconding the motion of the Honorable Pimentel, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Attorney Topacio.
Anyway,
We'll pray on that.
levity aside, Your Honors, with all due respect to the good Congressman Asidre, the ruling of the Supreme Court applies to all hearings, either of the Senate or of the House of Representatives. Secondly, with respect to the point of the good Congresswoman Franz Castro, the same is well taken actually, Your Honors. As in fact, in the case of Senate versus Ermita, the Supreme Court said that the questions and the proposed legislation should be attached to the subpoena. The proposed legislation is already public, so that is out there, Your Honors. But perhaps, Representative Castro, if we could be furnished proposed questions, and if these questions cannot be answered by the three representatives here, and we are invoking this with all due respect, based on the doctrine of Senate versus Ermita, then we can determine, and then, well, Your Honors, if the legal justification provided by Pastor Kibuloy is not sufficient in the eyes of this committee, then of course it may proceed according to its rules. But in the meantime, again, we apologize for taxing the patience of the committee. We again humbly appeal for due process in this case, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Chairman. Chairman.
The Honorable Carap.
Anyway, binuksan na rin yan ni Attorney Topacio. Anyway,
Yes, Your
iba
Honor.
kasi yung circumstances with regards to Senate and Ong. Kasi si Ong dumalo eh. He was not given due process. Etong case ni Pastor Kibuloy, hindi siya dumalo. He disrespect this committee. And yung question of legal excuse by attending this committee, okay, I will grant it to you, Attorney. I will grant it to you. But hindi ko sinasabi na tama ka. But we can also impose letter F. Undue interference. We can impose undue interference, not letter A.
Well, Your Honor, as I said, we will always submit.
Kaya nga kasi you defended it with our colleague here.
Yes,
Ayaw
Your
nga pag-usapan dapat eh. Sabi ko, gusto ko pag-usapan natin sa gilid eh, pati yung balag. Kasi
Opo.
you invoke in which the circumstances is different. Because attended the hearing. Magkaiba yun, attorney, di ba?
Yes, that's why I
That's why,
raised.
attorney, ako ayop, we will end this debate with regards to your appeal. Ako nga, sabi ko nga eh,
Opo.
pwede naman yung reconsideration eh.
Opo.
Contempt and lifting of the contempt, it all depends on the actions of Pastor Kibuloy. Di ba? If he cooperates with this committee, then so good. We can lift that, that contempt. But if you will invoke those jurisprudence, wala tayong
Yes, thank
Mr.
you very
Chair.
much. The Honorable JJ Suarez is recognized.
Attorney Tapasio, can I just ask,
Yes, Your Honor.
why does the good pastor refuse to come?
To be candid, Your Honor, to this committee, he is apprehensive that his rights may not be respected because of the frenzy surrounding the investigation, Your Honor. And besides, Your Honor, he said that if they ask me and I do not know, there are other people who know about the information, then it might be futile for me to appear before the committee.
I think that's the very problem, Attorney Tapasio. He's assuming something that has not yet happened. Throughout the whole series of hearings we've had, I think the committee has been handling themselves properly, legally, giving all the resource persons due process. So I don't think any rights would have been violated if he presented himself. Number two, to assume that he does not know the answers to the questions when in fact he doesn't even know the questions yet is false to hold on to, because I myself have questions to ask to the good pastor. And I believe the person that he has sent might not be of the position to answer my questions because they were not present in the SEC documents. Their names were not present in the SEC documents that were submitted to the Committee on Franchise. So how can that obligation be passed on to them? So again, I'm asking, on numerous times that he has been invited, why does he not come?
If I may respond to that, Mr. Chair? May I respond, Mr.
Yes,
Chair?
please, you,
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, Your Honor, that is why precisely we are asking for a general, not a detailed line of questioning, but just the general questions under Ermita, Your Honors. Number two, Your Honors, we agree with the committee, but Your Honors, please, with respect to the points raised, with all due respect, Pastor Marlon Acobo has been mentioned since 1920.